Hey guys, Ragnarok54 here, and welcome back to another RuneScape video. This time I want to talk about component farming with Scavenging 4. So, with Archaeology release came a lot of new best-in-slot perks, and of course the new highest rank for Scavenging, Scavenging 4. So this means a lot of people, me included as you can see, are going to try to save some money on all these new perks because they're pretty expensive, and I thought, oh, if I can get a couple of rare component procs with scavenging, that could save me a lot of money, especially if there were some Noxious or Ilijankin. This can be a really useful thing, but I've seen a lot of things around the RS media that are really overselling the corpse spider strategy or really any other high kill per hour method. This is the best one that I know of, and I want to set the record straight here. So how good is this alleged holy grail of components? Is it actually free best in slot perks? So let's look at the numbers. I'll be using a pretty standard setup here at Corpse Spiders. Everything I have is not degradable besides my two augmented items. I have my augmented Mage tier 70 bottoms with Scavenging 4 on them, and then I have an offhand augmented Abyssal Orb with Corroming 4, which I would recommend and is worth the cost because of the increased kills per hour you'll get with that. I'm also using Smoke Devil pouches with scrolls and aggression potions. And finally, I have the Invention Cape in my Max Cape, or you can just wear an Invention Cape for the lowered charge drain per hour. So with this setup, you can expect around 3 to 3,500 kills per hour. You can get more than that, but you'd have to AFK a little bit less, and I'm not really going to consider that scenario for reasons I'll discuss later. And one more thing, my gown is level 20, so I'll be doing all my calculations with the level 20 bonus to scavenging. Okay, so costs. I'm using an offhand orb, as you can see, instead of a main hand, and I'm also using an armor piece for scavenging. Offhand drains at half the rate of main hand, and I could have enhanced efficient on my gown just to save a little bit more, and I probably should, but I just couldn't be asked, so I don't have that. You would save maybe 20k per hour if you want to. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, so I just didn't go and get it. I'm also using the Avernic Wand, which gives me free air runes, so I save even more money. So with this setup, I'm getting 1.56 charges drained per second, and that's going to cost about 160k gold per hour at current divine charge prices. Aggression pots are another 140k per hour to use, and the pouches with their scrolls at current prices are about 500,000 gold per hour. So for costs, we're looking at a total of about 800,000 gold per hour just to be here. Even not considering the rare components, you will still make some money here. So you can get these unchecked spiders, which are really nice. They add an extra 3 to 700k just based on how lucky you get per hour. So that can be really useful. But the real reason that you can actually make some profit here is the uncommon components that you can use to make equipment siphons. So that's going to be precious and enhancing, and you also need simple components, but I'm going to assume you guys can get those for borderline free and they don't take that long to get anyway. So you can expect to get about 5 equipment siphons worth of components per hour here, which if you sell those minus the simple part cost, it's about 200k each, so that's 1 million gold per hour. So overall, this means you'll net about 500 or maybe even 600k, depending on how lucky you are with the spider eggs and the components per hour. Minus the time, of course, that it takes you to disassemble the stuff for the simple components if you're going to do that. Okay, so now that we've established some basic costs and profits, let's talk about the real reason everyone's here, and that is rare components. So with a level 20 armor piece that you have scavenging on, you can expect to get about 6 rare components per hour. As you can see, there are a lot of different rare components. So if you're expecting to get 6 per hour, that could be any 6 of these. And as you guys know, you'll get 4 in 1 proc. So that's estimating about 1.5 procs for rare components per hour. So if I'm here for just one component and I really want to get Ilijankin, say, because that's actually my real scenario, then I can expect to spend anywhere from 20 to maybe 25 hours to get on drop rate those components in Ilijankin. They are very expensive, so I would be saving just from one proc 25 million gold probably at market price currently. I know it's a bit unstable right now with the lances and crests, but they're around 6.5 million gold each. So that's going to save me a good 25 mil, but it's going to take me about 25 hours to get it. And of course, the more components that you actually need, the more worth it this method is. But it's worth taking into account the fact that if I'm spending 25 hours here, making, say, 500k profit per hour, then I'm going to be making 12 mil in those 25 hours and then making an extra 25 mil from the components. So in total, I'd get 37 mil profit from 25 hours. And that's not really the best money. Even AFKing incandescent energies can get you much more than that. And if you're AFKing something like spiritual warriors, you can make a ton more than that, and you can still use scavenging. I'm just using the example of Ilijankin because they're the most expensive. Any other component that is less expensive than that is going to be even less worth it because you're making less effective profit here per hour. So is this method worth it? That's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of components to take into consideration. There's a lot of variables. So I want to give you guys kind of a general rule of thumb for if this is worth it. I'm only considering scenarios where you're hard AFKing. I think this is a great method to hard AFK. You guys can't see it, but I have Alt 1 up here with an aggression potion, loot beam, familiar timer, and lobby timer on it. And I found it super useful for just AFKing during class. I come back and maybe I've gotten like a noxious component or something. And I'm not spending money to be here because of all the profit methods that I talked about. So that said, if you prefer to do other things in your hard AFK time, I have a lot of friends who spend time at incandescent energies or maybe AFKing spiritual warriors in a personal slayer dungeon. Then find out how much money per hour that is for you specifically when you're AFKing. And given these numbers, which I've given you, 3 to 3,500 kills per hour when hard AFKing, see if it's worth it based on the components that you need. I've given an example with Ilijankin because they're the most expensive component to my knowledge, and shown that it's not super worth it, especially if that's the only component you need. If you need more than that, then maybe take that into consideration, the fact that you're going to get about 6 rare components per hour, how much they cost, and the fact that there's, I think, 31 of them, and see if it's worth it for you, because the answer may very well be no. And I figured that out after being here for maybe 50 hours, so that's why I made this video, to hopefully dissuade some people if they are thinking, like I did, that this is going to be some sort of be-all, end-all for free best-in-slot perks. Alright guys, so that's going to be about all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy or if you learned something, then leave a like, and if you've done this before, leave a comment letting me know how lucky you've gotten. These are my components after, as I said, I think about 50 hours, maybe closer to 45, but I'm coming up on 50 now. Let me know if you got more lucky than I did, or if you got a ton of nightly components or something. But anyway, thank you again for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.